Hi everyone, it's Irene here. I'm from Augury. How are you doing? Okay. So, um, so what is your email? If in the past people used to ask like that, um, and then the era of software like Facebook and Instagram has explored. People start to ask, "What is your Instagram?" The trend in using online social media network always change from time to time. And now I see in this decade the social trend, people start asking, what is your domain name? So from a domain name, we can know the real name of a person. Yeah. So engineer will prefer crypto names over fiat name because they can integrate username domain, wallet, and reputations, and so much more. Okay, can you please move to the next slide? Yeah. So name are the most valuable things on the internet. Why did Elon Musk change Twitter to X? So Elon need to show off his favorite name is X, and he did it. So high performing entrepreneurs don't want to execute others people's idea. So it's all the human nature. So and it's the same with entrepreneurs and idea. That's all the need of social classes. And I want to talk that more than a technical concept, on-chain has come to represent a space where the trust value, decentralizations, and transparencies are the real values. So as this understanding continue to grow, on-chain is becoming recognized not just as a feature of technology, but as a transformative places within the internet itself. Can you please move the next slide for me? Yes. So, what is on-chain in crypto? I have a slide here in the context of cryptocurrency. The term of on-chain refer to an activities that transactions occur directly on the blockchain. So blockchain as its core is a decentralized and distributed ledger that the record all transaction across a network of a computer. So on-chain activities involve actions and data that are permanently recorded on this blockchain. So, there's something about on-chain identity that I want all of you here to know that. Could you please move to the next slide and the big slide behind it? Yeah, this one. So the first thing I want to talk here is a total and sensor proof control over their identities. So that's the first one, and the second one is portability. So each of everyone will be able to carry their identifier with themselves and bring them to various platform through cyberspace. And the third one is security. So on-chain identity is enabled by decentralized identifier. So a type of a unique identifier which is protected by a private key, and the key is being known only to the identity owner. That make the hacking would be really hard and impossible as well. And the last one is convenient. So having only one on-chain identity will make it so much easier for everyone to use different chains and wallets. It will lead to a better user experience, and also hopefully it will enable a wider adoption of blockchain technology. And then now we are going to the next slide, the benefit of on-chain names and identity in social apps. So there are some benefits that I already note on the slide that you can watch it here. So I will talk more. The first benefit is permissionless and open. So we are used to the idea of social media, which is all being controlled by several big players which owns the user's data. So this make it restricted for us to choose the type of content that we would like to see on our feed, right? So on-chain identity social protocol will change it differently. So on-chain names seek to solve the major issues in existing social media network, namely Web2 network or RED, from their unique and centralized database. There is no portability at all. So your profile, your friends, and your contents are all locked to a specific network and owned by the network operator. So this caused each network to fight a zero-sum game for your attentions. And on-chain name can correct this by being a user-owned. So it is an open social graph that any application can plug into. So since user own their own data, they can bring it to any application which is built on top of on-chain names. So as as they own as they own their own content, creator will no longer have to worry about losing their content, losing their audience, and livelihood based on the whims of an individual platform, uh, algorithms, and policies. So additionally, each application uh, which use on-chain names will benefit the whole ecosystem. um, it will turn the zero-sum game into a collaborative one. And about the developer can design meaningful social experience without needing to turn to feedback mechanisms to lock in a user attentions. So in our next slide, we have human verifications here. So software now can allow you to generate realistic photos and video of a person who does not exist anymore. So synthetic identity are coming. Yeah. So on-chain name system doesn't mean full trust, but that improve it on some dimensions. So I have already note here like digital signature, hash, and timestamps. Okay, to our next slide, we have why we have handshake on this case. So I already have note some of the main idea. So we have to have handshake on this case as its focus as a naming system, its decentralizations, and the ease of truthless resolutions. It's also compatible with the rest of the internet, and Handshake is stability and upgradability at the protocol level. Mm, I think that owning an own Handshake SLD domain is such a good way to enhance the values of social DFs, and this could be very a great point for influencer to attract their fans via their TLDs. So, for example, their fans can buy and use SLDs or the TLDs that their influencer owned. However, we are having a challenge here. So, and I also want to share to you guys here. So, we will move to the next slide or and also the last slide challenge. Okay, so there are some obstacles to the universal expansions of on-chain identity. So the first one, or the one I would like to mention here, is related to the limited adoption of blockchain and crypto industry in general. So this make on-chain identity relevant only to certain sections of the populations. So that's all my talk here today. Thanks a lot for listening, and I really hope that our internet community will be more and more bigger in the future. Thanks a lot for having me today. Hi, Mike. Good
Hey,
morning.
Hi,
Good
everyone.
good morning.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah,
How
great.
are you? How
I'm
are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you look so cool today. I haven't get your pin
Really
yet. Oh my god.
swagged
Haven't
up.
get your pin.
But yeah, you're getting a
Your
lot of great
pin.
feedback and encouragement in the chats. You can see there. And you're also doing a hack. You're helping put. I think there'll be another session in the following days was about the Vietnam hackathon. You're helping kind of organize. Your main organizer of. I don't know if you want to share about that really quickly. I think you'll go into more detail in another session. But
Yeah, hackathon. Yeah, actually, we are going to have a hackathon on April in Vietnam. It's the On-Chain Names and Identity Hackathon. But the detail of it, maybe I will share with you in
yeah, we have
tomorrow
another
next session.
session late.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yes,
for it
sure.
on. I think that's tomorrow's session about this time
Yeah.
tomorrow. Um, but yeah, Migs, what do you think of the
Hello,
talk?
Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arian, you did a really great job. I think you might
Oh,
have broke the
thank
record
you.
for most emoji reactions during your chat. So you're a fan favorite for sure. I think that you did a. I think you gave a really great summary of all a holistic view of what handshake names can do and why they're going to do it and why it makes sense for the individual user. But we do have a question here. So by
Let me
using
see.
Handshake as a user ID, do you avoid the name collision issues with DNS TLDs? Is the question. I'm not sure how you want to
Yeah.
tackle that one if you'd like to.
I mean, Migs can help too. I mean, Irene, if you
Yeah.
want to take the first crack, but we can help too.
By using Handshake as a user ID, do you avoid the name conclusion issue with DNS TLDs? Um, Let me see. I think Internet will do great. I mean, about Internet can handle this. So because it's a great choice to be an ID, right? It's
Mhm.
I mean I mean I totally believe in 18s and yeah, it could be great.
I
I think
think. Yeah, go ahead, Migs. Go ahead first.
I was going to say, I mean, it does solve for this function. Indexing is important. I think I try to remind myself sometimes. Handshake is a very broad technology. The way that people choose to interact with it will determine, things like I don't want to say solve, right, but we'll acknowledge a lot of things like name collisions. So, could there be name collisions with DNS? There's a lot of levels to that question, but having a unique Handshake user ID would definitely be able to, at least as an individual, be able to identify yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way I think some have said over the years, this is a common question, is
Hmm.
it every there's even collisions with other Web3 domain naming
Yeah,
solutions. And ICANN, I think, is releasing new TLDs 2026, which could collide with someone ours. I have names. It could collide, so collisions can happen with DNS and HNS. HNS tried its best to not collide, but now I think it's up to ICANN's 2026 issues. But it feels like they're not going to maybe pay attention to Handshake's TLDs in the way I understand it. But if that makes sense. But basically, it's a Handshake blockchain. It's a block level layer one blockchain, and you own that name on the Handshake blockchain. So if people resolve Handshake within their apps or their browsers, it would resolve for you.
that's a really great answer. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I'm reading in the chats too. Yeah, yeah, you can read some chats too. But yeah, I mean, this is why we're doing. It's really up to us as a community, and we really are so happy. Irene, we've seen you grow over the years in the community, and speaking now, it's really amazing. Um,
Yeah,
But it's all of us are directors and can help with more resolution.
we have a new question here.
Yeah, I mean, somebody is maybe being concerned or getting concerned. Obsolete. So, I mean, we should understand the technology here. It's Handshake is a blockchain. there's no official association with ICANN. There's no relationship with ICANN. Handshake respected ICANN's TLDs, and like Tom Barrett said, but there's no relationship.
Yep. True.
Okay, I'm seeing something.
Anyways, this is my second
You
here.
asked about the hackathon. I mean, you could maybe send the link. It's Handshake Vietnam, is it, or what is it? Hackathon. I know you'll talk about it tomorrow, but maybe people can hear a little bit now so they can check the dates. It's the end of
Oh,
April in Hanoi. It's the last
yeah.
weekend in Hanoi. But she will be.
Okay, so let me send the link.
Okay, and then just so while we wait, we have a few more sessions still for today. We have the next one is how to scale HNS when airdrop, Save the Doctor, Mayanek, and Alex, and Vita or VJ. So that's going to be a really great one right after this one. And
Here, so I post a link. This is
Vietnam.
our website. Yes, hackathonvietnam.org. So it's a competition where there's a lot of gifted young Vietnamese students that will join in a hackathon, and they will resolve a problem. And yeah, we really hope that through the competitions we can find the gifted student, and we can connect the communities, the Vietnamese community that love programming and blockchains. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, that's in Vietnam. Yeah. Sorry for my
Okay.
bad English. So,
No, it's great. No, we're all really proud of you. It's great. Thomas is saying another follow up. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think we should all just understand the technology that we're working with, but he's more concerned about these collisions again. But yeah, I mean, basically, ICANN says in 2026 they're going to start to issue more TLDs through their normal process, which is a couple years from now. And of course, Handshake wants to cooperate with ICANN and had a whole bunch of coins and names held for them, but that expired in the happening, which we talked about earlier. That was part of the happening. They had 4 years to grab that free gift, and they didn't. But yeah, Thomas, I hope that's clear. But I don't think ICANN's going to issue millions or tons of names, TLDs, but there's going to be some issued. It seems like Unstoppable Domains wants to kind of go there and get them for theirs or whatever. But Handshake is a decentralized community. If you want to try to go to ICANN and get yours, pay their fees and etc., you can. I'm not going to personally, but it's your decision as an individual director of Handshake. I think a lot of us believe in what we're building and believe in the long term. But yeah, it is, of course, just the way it is. Yeah, we have the glasses. Migs, do you still have some in stock in California? And I think there's some.
I might have one pair left. They're hot.
Get more. Yeah. Okay.
People want them.
It's been cool. I saw Chango rocking them. I saw Paul driving around with the car wearing them and doing a panel. So that was yeah. So NFTs are stupid.com is the site, right? NFT, and you have your shopping cart with rugs and
Yeah, and the TLD redirects to the ICANN domain. On that note of ICANN, earlier Chad was talking. I just wanted to give my perspective super quick here. I went to NamesCon, and Chad's right. And I could be wrong, right? But it's ICANN doesn't have a face, and if it did, it would just stare right back at you. So when I want to just, that's my interpretation of it. It's hard to interact with ICANN, and so I I was a little let down when I just tried to find answers, and there's no one to talk to. It's a wall. So in that, just some context, because if not, you might fly to Texas to find that out yourself, and I'm trying to save you $1,000.
Yeah, so there's, if people are really serious, Tom Bear is probably one of our best reps of the traditional ICANN world. He if you saw a session earlier, he's really tried hard to represent both Web 2 and Web 3. He's not exclusive for Handshake. He also represents other Web 3 naming solutions at Encirca, but he's probably one of our best contacts, I would say, to talk to about the traditional ICANN. But, my other point about that is you think about the banks and Bitcoin, right? I personally am not really feeling as comfortable keeping money in banks as I used to be. But I'll be honest, I wasn't always thinking like that even when Bitcoin was existing 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I mean, man, it's how long now? 14, 16 years Bitcoin's been around? 16 years, I think. Oh, wait, right?
Yeah.
It's been around for 16
Let me see.
years, Bitcoin. And I didn't really, I'm upset. I sold some Bitcoin way too early, I mean, of course, nobody knew where it was going to go, but it wasn't such an obvious thing for Bitcoin in 2000, even 2010, 11. I remember heard about it in 2011. One of my friends bought 1,000 Bitcoin for 25 cents each. We're at a bar in Shenzhen, China, in 2011, and he's like, I just bought this Bitcoin for 25 cents. It's up to 50 cents now. And we're like, sell that. I was like, sell that. Sell that. He doubled his money. He's so angry right now. I talked to him for his birthday last month. He's so upset. 1,000 Bitcoin now. How much is that? So, the point is, there's some OG Bitcoiners here that are very strongly believing in Handshake, and there's more and more censorship happening in the internet, and there's pressure on ICANN to censor domains, and I think at various levels it's been approved. There's more censorship in domains. So, yeah, $72 million. He paid like $1,000, whatever it was. Yeah. So, I'm not trying to say Handshake's going to, I mean, Jahan spoke even this at the beginning today. He says he still believes Handshake is as powerful, as big as Bitcoin. But, there is the same idea, I mean, that this could happen here in Handshake, but you shouldn't do this just for financial reasons. A lot of the people that did Bitcoin were hardcore Bitcoin. They didn't just sit back and sit on their Bitcoin. So of course some did, but a lot of people worked really hard to get Bitcoin to where it is. They didn't just sit on their coin and wait. They worked, and that's what should be doing too, right? We shouldn't just be sitting back on our names, especially names, right? We should be working to build on those. It's kind of our responsibility in a way. So,
and it pays off. I think Noel's an example of someone who's come a really long way with .tx. I remember at the first HandyCon he was talking about it, and he's done so much with it. I think he's even branded some wine and other stuff. So you can take it in any direction you want.
Exactly. All right, Irene. So thanks again. I think we still even have a couple more minutes, but does anybody have other questions or concerns or thoughts or feedback? But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not easy. It's not easy days for Handshake. The last couple months, I think the ICANN 2026, I just heard about that a month or two ago. That wasn't really fun news to me. And there's been doubters. There's some other projects coming out, and there's more and more naming solutions coming all the time for the last couple of years. But I'm still here. I still believe. But it's natural to kind of go through a thought process. We should keep an open mind, right? We should be open to other technologies and other solutions. But we should also not just sit and wait and hope. We have a responsibility, in my opinion, or do what we can to do to grow together as a community, support each other, promote other projects, get on crypto Twitter, go on LinkedIn, right, Alex? Go into LinkedIn now.
And so this is my second year to be in HandyCon, and I'm really, really, really happy and appreciate of you here. And thanks a lot for having me. And also, if you have any questions, please text, DM me on my Twitter, and yeah, I will answer your questions. And the last one, the last but not least, please don't forget to watch out to look for Vietnam Hackathon coming soon. Yeah,
Great.
thanks a
Um,
lot.
Thank you all. And there's some good chats in here. I guess I'll just try to jump at this Anon MNSN. For me, you saw Bo, our CTO co-founder at LoadPipe Protocol. We're going to be using Handshake names on this e-commerce stores as usernames and shopping carts, which I believe will be a good way. Uswap.xyz. I made a video earlier this week on SkyInclude. They also use hns.id on Optimism to use as your username in Uswap, which hopefully could become the next LinkedIn, of Web3. You can check them out. They're live. It works. You can see I have Mike.hns as my username there. But I mean, I guess it depends what you can do. It depends on what your skill is, right? You have to think about your skill and your ability. Of course, if you're a developer, build. If you're a marketer, market. If you're like, investor, invest, or there's various different ways. So find your skill, find your position. Like me, I'm not a developer, but I started making content, with start helping through these events. People are building, or let us know, or ask people here, ask Irene, ask me. There's the hackathon. You can come to the hackathon in Vietnam, in Hanoi, if that's convenient for you, at the end of April. Promote it.
Yeah, we always welcome you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
I
thanks
see
a lot.
some
Great
giveaways.
work.
Gotta go to next session. So thank you, everybody.
See you.